How's it going, guys? My name's Tom, and today I'm going to be talking about the third MCC development update that came out last night on April 17th. And I'm sorry for being so cliche and generic with talking about these blog posts and speculating and stuff like that. I'm not big into speculation. There's three sides to every story, and I'm all about the facts and things that have actually transpired. But I feel like if I don't talk about these things at this point in time, then I won't be able to generate enough discussion or buzz around these game-breaking issues that I've been preaching about for so long, and MCC won't be relevant past 2018. I truly do believe that we can make a difference in our community if we all unite and speak about the same things. The main issue with the Halo community, and this is how it's been for many, many years, is there's a very big divide or discrepancy between the casual and competitive communities. So for example, as it pertains to MCC, a lot of casual players want Halo Reach, or they want armor customizations, they want visual updates, they want graphical updates. They care more about the lore and the storyline and just having a good time in matchmaking. Meanwhile, you have the competitive community who wants, playlist and game type updates. They want free-for-all, they want some type of progression system like EXP. And the thing that people have to understand is that nobody is actually wrong. Just because a casual player enjoys the lore behind Halo and cares about visual updates and Spartan Ops doesn't make them any more or less of a person or wrong than someone in the competitive community who cares about EXP or playlist updates. Everyone's equal, and that's the reason why I preach party and rank matching. It's not the fact that I'm a competitive player and I'm too naive or stupid to understand that casual players don't really care about that stuff, but I've played Halo long enough to understand that casual players benefit even more so than competitive players do from features like rank and party matching. Now, before I get into the actual blog post, I just want to say if you guys have not seen my previous two videos, I would highly recommend you go watch them, because in those two videos, I outlined everything that 343 needs to address to make MCC a playable and fair game for everybody in the community. That being said, let's talk about the actual blog. So I'm not going to read everything here. There's a couple things that I want to talk about in particular. And as always, I'm going to have all these links down in the video description. So the first thing that really caught my eye was the amount of people who actually registered to test these updates. According to 343, there was over 13,000 people who all signed up to the MCC Insider program. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, that's not that many people, but for Halo, it kind of is at this point. But according to 343, not all 13,000 people are going to be able to actively beta test the first update. Now, according to 343, the people who are going to beta test this first update have already been selected. Now, the funny thing to me, and this is what they mentioned now, is that in order for you to be eligible to beta test this update, you had to play MCC at the very least 20 times in the past 6 months. So that kind of sucks, because I don't even know if I'm going to be eligible, but we'll see. The next thing that caught my eye was the MCC beta is confidential. So I don't know if this means that players have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but that'll be something funny to witness as well. I mean, they want people to be quiet about it, but there's 13,000 people registered to be beta testers, so good luck with that one. So moving on here, under Milestone 5, we have a summary of what's being fixed. Now, the first thing that we have here is P1 and P2 continued bug fixing, and they couldn't have been more vague. It says, P1 and P2 continued bug fixing is a broad way of saying fixing all the worst bugs that negatively impact our ability to deliver the flighting build or complete a milestone. Now, the reason I say it's vague is because they go on to say some of these bugs are carryovers from the retail version of MCC, while others are new and were introduced during the process of this update work. The optimistic part of me wants to believe that they're going to do something like fix dodging or fix party and rank matching, but given that it wasn't ever talked about openly or implied, I don't think that's what it means. And that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I'm making this video, is because the people on Halo Waypoint and Reddit are so diversified in the sense that everyone has their idea of what they want out of Halo and MCC, and there's a lot of hype surrounding this game and this update, but no one's talking about rank and party matching or dodging and issues that are really going to kill this game. I mean, there's so many people that are probably going to come back for this update and come back to play MCC. And what type of experience are they going to have when they jump into matchmaking and they match a team of 50s? Or if they jump into matchmaking with their friends and they're matching, level 1s and people who probably shouldn't be in the same lobby as them, they're just going to get burnt out. And then MCC is going to be in the same spot that it's in now. I just think as a community, we have to really start to focus on what's going to make matchmaking not only fun, but fair for everybody. And as I've been saying, it's not just for the competitive people, it's also for the casual players. I mean, it's going to help casual players improve if they choose to do so, and it's going to help the competitive players play against other competitive players, so it's going to create balanced matches, and matchmaking might actually be fun again. That being said, they're working on something called texture streaming, which sounds a little bit weird, but it's going to improve the multiplayer map loading times by about 40%. So the next thing they talk about is something called intelligent delivery, and Apparently, it's still a work in progress. Basically, they want to let players pick and choose what games they want to install. This means that if you don't like Halo 4, you don't have to install it. Although the one issue that I see is in playlists that feature multiple games, such as Big Team Battle, Team Slayer. If a player chooses to uninstall a particular game, will they be able to play those playlists? Either way, it's a pretty cool idea for the people who dislike certain games, but apparently it's still a work in progress. So moving on, they've updated the UI. Judging by the pictures, it looks pretty fucking sweet, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. But I'm really hoping they give us an option to turn down or turn off the stupid menu music. So the last thing that they have on here, and I'm going to give you guys my own interpretation of this. Basically, they moved APIs and tools from the Xbox platform to their own platform at 343. So now they're going to be able to control like party composition. They're going to be able to update stuff like game types, playlists, etc. According to 343, at the end of the summer, when the first update comes out, this is what they want to include: intelligent install, Xbox One X visual enhancements, HDR/SDR calibration settings, networking and matchmaking improvements, continuous matchmaking, network/multiplayer API updates, P1 and P2 bug fixes, LAN support, and finally, UI updates. Now, a lot of people are hyped about this update, as am I, but I can't help but be a little skeptical because none of the biggest issues were actually touched on. So, for instance, dodging, rank matching, party matching, IP masking. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many things that continue to ruin this game for both the casual and competitive players, and given the vagueness of this blog post, it doesn't really give me much hope. But what does give me hope is the very bottom of this blog post, and it's called Tales from the Engineering Trenches, and Sketch, the guy who wrote the article, talked to a couple people who are working on the game, and they address things like blue screens in Halo 2, the Halo 2 spawns, and something that I found very interesting called tick rates. Now, they describe tick rates as a quote-unquote game simulation, and without getting too much into it, basically it affects the rate of fire on games. So, as you guys know, if you guys played Halo 3 on the Xbox 360, you'll notice that the SMG on the Xbox One for Halo 3 is significantly stronger than it was on the Xbox 360, and I guess you could attribute that to the updated tick rate. So, my takeaway from that is adjusting the tick rate is going to adjust the rate of fire on guns, and that, in essence, is going to actually change the way shots register. But I don't know. We'll see. My final thoughts about this blog post and this update in general is that I'm still not very sold on 343's intentions. At the very least, I can respect the fact that they're trying to fix this game and they're trying to do something positive. But on the other hand, I just haven't seen any concern for these severe matchmaking issues that affect not only MCC, but also Halo 5. I mean, I don't even play Halo 5, and yet I hear people talking about the lack of party matching, the lack of ranks matching their equivalent all the time. And while it's nice to know that these issues don't just happen on MCC, it's still kind of discouraging because Halo 5 is still technically the go-to game for Halo. It's the most current game, and they haven't fixed party and rank matching on Halo 5, so what makes me think they're going to do it for MCC? And just like I said on my past two videos, guys, I'm doing this because I love Halo 2 and Halo 3 just as much as you do or anyone else does, and I really want this game to be playable and fair for everyone for years to come. What I don't understand is, like, the ideas that I preach aren't just for a couple people or a select group of people. They're literally for everyone. They affect everybody equally. Now, I understand that MCC's population is very low, but this update and the hype around it is going to cause people to come back to this game, and people are going to start playing both new and old. And if you have all these updates and the game functions well, but matchmaking is still very unfair and unbalanced, then people are just going to leave. If you guys have social media or you guys have like a Halo Waypoint account, I highly encourage you to go on Halo Waypoint, go on Twitter, go on Reddit, whatever you guys got, post about party matching, post about rank matching, post about IP masking, get the discussion flowing about the issues that actually matter. Because by the time this update becomes public, if matchmaking is still where it is now, the player base will die, and all those people who campaign for better shot registration and Spartan Ops and Halo Reach, it won't even fucking matter because no one's going to be playing. But like I said, guys, go on social media and just talk about this stuff. You know, get the attention of 343 and let's try to promote some type of change. That way this game doesn't suck dick. And, you know, 5 to 7 years down the line, we could still get on some Halo 2, fuck some shit up, and have a good time. Anyway, boys, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.